Good morning. It's a beautiful day again today, and I thought I would just give you a little tour around the back garden and show you what's going on there, because I've got quite a lot going on. I've got two terraces running along here alongside the waterfall. For the last 2 years I've just put in veg. They've only been in 2 years, these terraces. I had meant to put in a herbal garden, but I've never gotten round to that. At the minute it's still just veg. So this is the top terrace where I've got the squash. It is a Victor squash, I believe. I've only got one on. Well, there's only 2 plants, but still I've only got one on. It is trailing off right down by the waterfall there, so I'm hoping for some more. This Victor squash grows to a good size, if it'll grow, and it becomes red and like warty when it's ready. So I'm quite looking forward to growing that, if they'll grow. In this second terrace I've got all my salad leaves. For the last 2 years I've done this, grown my salad leaves in the back garden rather than at the allotment, because it just means you pick it and it's fresh straight away, rather than going to the allotment and letting it hang around in the fridge for half the day. So I've got this on because my naughty cat, not the one that you've just seen walking around in the background, my other naughty cat was coming on here and doing his business. Only weeks, so it wasn't so bad, but still, you don't want that on your lettuce. I'll show you what I've got. I've had some beautiful salad mixes this year from a company called Real Seeds. I had a mixed salad mix called Morton Seeds, which is some of this here. It was just all kinds of different lettuces sewn together, and they were beautiful. And also this loose leaf lettuce, and I also had a heading lettuce. They've been really good. They're pretty much finished now. They need to kind of come out. They're a bit bitter. And coming on down this way is chicory. I've never grown chicory before. I've never even tasted chicory before. It grows into the autumn and winter, I think. So we'll just have to see how it goes. I've been taking some of the outer leaves in salads, and it's fine. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that. And also this, I think, is a Chinese cabbage called Wong Bok. If that's not Wong Bok, I've lost my Wong Bok somewhere. I don't know where it is. And I've also got some cultivated rocket still hanging on there, but that's a bit bitter now. Yeah, the salads are kind of finished, but the chicory hopefully is going to hang on for a good bit longer. The new hens have settled in just fine, and they've eventually started to lay. This is their morning treat. They get mealworms. They go wild for them. So these are both off 2 of the new hens. That's the green egg of the new black hen, and that's the dark brown one of one of the other hens. As you can see how small that is, it's absolutely tiny. It's like a quail's egg, but it's quite exciting to have coloured eggs. We've got another hen that's laying white eggs as well. So we've got quite a colourful egg basket now. Also got some of this chicory and possibly the Chinese cabbage growing in random pots around the place. Looks very healthy. The greenhouse has changed dramatically since last time I showed you. It looks horrendous, but things aren't always as bad as they seem. So there you see all my poor tomato plants looking extremely sad and sorry for themselves. However, it's okay because the tomatoes are almost finished on them now. I've stopped watering them to get the tomatoes to ripen up. Yeah, and they're nearly done. So that's that. I've had masses of tomatoes. Couldn't complain at all with the crop I've had this year, and I've wanted to get them off the trusses as quick as I could before blight or anything nasty struck, and it seems to be a policy that's worked quite well. I do think I've got a little mouse living in here though, because there's a few of the tomatoes I've got little nibbles out of them, but I can spare a few. Not looking quite so sorry are the chilies. These were called Nigel's Outdoor Chillies, which has kind of confused me a bit. I have grown them indoors because I didn't trust them to crop as I started them off late. But I think they're jalapenos as a variety. I don't really know anything much about chilies at all. But anyway, they've grown, they've cropped. You can pick these green as far as I understand, but I do want to wait for them to go red because I want a bit more heat in them. I've tried a couple and they are mild, and I like a bit of spice in my life. And as I'm checking these over this morning, that one is definitely starting to turn from being the green into a slightly more yellow colour, so hopefully I'll get some nice hot chilies soon. We'll try and stand in front of the washing line to disguise it. We'll just have to make do with what we've got here. This is my crazy mad border. It's completely mental. I'll show you it and see if you can make any sense of it, because I'm not sure I can. So to the right of me, I've got a whole pile of potatoes. These, I don't know where they came from. They must have been in the compost that we put onto this border at the beginning of the year, all just volunteers. I've just let them go. I'm just going to let them continue until they start to die back and hopefully get some more potatoes out of there. Why not? And then on this side, this is me mad tomatoes. Have you ever seen anything like it? I know all you tomato experts will be throwing up your hands in despair when you see this. It just completely got away from me. And I haven't really done anything at all with it. I staked it at the very beginning, or them at the very beginning should I say. I think there's probably about 8 or 10 plants in there, and I tried to nip out the side shoots, but next time I turned around they'd gone completely wild and mental. They're beyond control now, so I'm just letting them go and seeing what happens. But I have got quite a lot of tomatoes on here. It just remains to be seen as to whether they will ripen or not. If not, there's a lot of green tomato chutney in my future. I have taken off the grown stems to keep the height down a bit, because I just want what's on there now to plump up and ripen. I've got another one of these Victor squashes in here. It's trailing right round the border. Again, I've only got the one fruit on there, so not hugely successful this time yet, but still. Have you ever seen such enormous courgette leaves? It's absolutely colossal. But if you see, it's planted right beside the compost heap, the compost bin, so I think that's why the leaves are so enormous compared with the one next to it which are much more normal. There you go, that's my first courgette from the garden. I did originally plant 5 courgette plants in this patch, but 3 of them just spontaneously died. They just keeled over very soon after I planted them. And I think it was this other variety, not this one. This is a Courgette variety. I've got these at the allotment. I like them very much. I like the pale skin. They're a nice tender courgette. This one is called a straight-necked yellow courgette. And that doesn't seem very vigorous. This is the only plant out of about 6 that I've tried to grow that has come to anything. It has got one little courgette on there. It's the first one, so fingers crossed I might get some. Kenny's just been out foraging. That's the first little picking of elderberries this year. He's washed them and we're going to put them in a freezer just like that. And then it's easy to get the berries off the stalks into a freezer bag. This is my little selection of herbs which have done quite well this year. I'm quite pleased. I bought some lemon balm seeds, and this is it. It's a kind of mint, but it's got a lemony smell. Well, so they say. That doesn't smell very lemony. That one's lemony. Must have been a dud leaf. Anyway, this is lovely if you pick it, and also pick some of this mint and put it in hot water for a tea. I'm not usually one for herbal teas, but that really is nice and easy to drink. It's starting to come away nicely. I've got a lovely purple sage there in a pot which is doing really well. My sage doesn't usually do that great. And this one is a strawberry mint, which is in flower now, and the honeybees love it. It's I don't like it personally. It's got a funny kind of artificial smell. However, the bees like it, so that's good enough for me. And I've got a nice variegated sage there as well. I also want to show you these flowers. They're just in my pots. I grew them from seed this year. They're called Gadisha. I'd never heard of them or seen them before. But what a fun, they're going over now. They're not as in full bloom as they were, but what a fantastic display. Absolutely prolific. Masses of really kind of blousy, showy blooms, and easy to grow. So I will be getting them again for my baskets and my pots next year. I'm on the roof again. I've got 6 buckets of carrots here. I've had them up here all season in order to avoid the carrot fly, which can only fly to 3 feet high. And it's worked an absolute treat. My carrots are coming on beautifully. I've harvested quite a lot, and they've been perfect. No problems at all. I sowed them very thickly, and I'm just pulling out the smaller ones as we go, and leaving the other ones to grow on more, or rather I'm pulling out the bigger ones and letting the smaller ones grow on. But yeah, plenty more to come. Actually, you get a lot of carrots out of 3 out of 6 buckets. I'm surprised. I just thought I would get a couple of handfuls, but you know, it's really enough to make it worthwhile. Although I have to say, not a fan of getting up onto the roof, and it is a bit of a pain. If I could find a better solution where they were up high but not on a roof high, I would do that, but still I think it's worth it. Well, thank you for joining me for this little scoot around the back garden. I hope all your veg is grown fabulously. If you're down south, I hope you've had some rain by now, and I hope all this extreme heat has abated somewhat. Thank you for joining me. Catch you next time. Bye.